to do. They're just such great examples. Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, Bishop Desmond Tutu, who I don't think was in prison. There's still a great energy there, great vigor. So I'm into us humans. What can we do? What 6.5 billion of us, what can we do? Can we get this playing field level and get it fair for everyone around the world? So that's where I'm going. Yeah. Okay.
You said that you're in kind of a bloat phase right now.
Yeah.
Is it because you had a chance to be a girl and find acceptance, or is it because of career? It's just what you
It's a little bit of all of it. It's quite social political if you're transgender at the moment. You know, whatever you do, they say, well, now why are you wearing? Why are you wearing? And if a woman wears pants or a woman wears skirts, no one goes, so why a skirt today? What political message do you want to take? Back in the 30s and 40s, mine literally Captain Hepburn, there's pictures of Cary Grant sitting next to Captain Hepburn with a towel on, and that was, I'm wearing a skirt, and oh my God, and what that must have meant at that time. And now it doesn't mean anything, and everyone's got beyond that. So I am a transvestite. I've been since I was 4. It's built in, so locked in there. I mean, it'd be so much simpler for me to be as a straight transvestite, which is so crazy to me when I think of the logic of it. So just to be, you know, there's no point me adding this thing on. I just try to be honest with it, deal with it, and I do tend to look more blokey. So it'd be great if I looked more girly, but I don't. So that has swings and roundabouts. Because if you look more girly, then it wouldn't. You know, people know if I'm wearing a dress that I must have to have fights in the street, you know. I just think and that's what I do. I have to just take on people going, what the fuck are you wearing? And so at the moment I'm going through, you know, getting roles in dramas. If I turn up wearing makeup and a dress, they're not going to get those roles. They won't have the imagination to be able to spin that round. So I'm going through a more blokey phase. It's not really a phase, it's more just what I'm doing at the moment. And I can get into a dress anytime I want, because I feel I've got that space. And also on this tour, and when I arrived in America in '96 to do my stand-up, even though I'd played before as a street performer, when I arrived in '96, I arrived in makeup, and people thought, oh, it's about the makeup, and I said, and I'm saying, no, it's not. That's just, I wasn't doing it before, and then I changed into it. And now there's got a little bit, I'm wearing a little bit of eyeliner. But as the New York Times said, not as much as Keith Richards. So it's, I'm just going to move backwards and forwards, and hopefully in 10, 20 years people will go, oh, wear whatever, and then hopefully be a whole bunch of people just wearing whatever, and then we'll go, oh, forget it, you know. Where the developed continents and other continents coming up, and other countries are coming up that are being developed, and they're thinking more openly and saying, come on, tolerance, whatever, just wear what you want. What do you do? It's what the strength of your character and your personality. It's like the royals back in England. I'm totally against the idea of privilege, people being born into privilege, crazy. But let's judge these people. I think the number of people in Britain who are positive are really attached to this kind of idea. They see it part of his heritage. So let's see what these guys do in their life. And Prince Charles has done some very positive things. I think William's done some positive things. Harry's gone off the rails at times. But generally they seem to be positive. Diana put certain values into them which are against that Windsor family. So I think that's positive. I don't think Liz and Phil have done much anything positive in my book. So I want to judge humans by what they do. And that seems to be the best way, an inclusive thing that you can take all around the world.
It's that golden rule thing.
Yeah, it's the golden rule thing, exactly. What goes around comes around. That was the second thing that I had in my sort of life thing, and I realized that is the flip side of do unto others as you'd have others do unto you. And if you treat people bad, then it doesn't come around and bite you in the arse. And there's a thing from, I was watching the Ken Burns documentaries. If you haven't seen Ken Burns, they're really great. And it was the Lewis and Clark one, and they went all the way over the Rockies.
That was a great one.
Yeah, it was great. So they go it takes 4 years to make these things, 4 or 5 years, and they go all the way over the Rockies, and they get to the pierced nose.
Pierced
nose.
Yes, pierced.
Yes, it's in the French. It's like a corruption of the French that they call this Indian tribe. So they got down there, and they had hardly any food left, and they were kind of really in a raggedy state. And so the Indians sat down, and they got all the people from the local areas in, which is very interesting from Native American thing. They got them in and said, "What should we do with these guys?" They said, "Well, let's kill them." So that seems fine because you don't know who the hell these people are. And then there's a woman who had been kidnapped by another tribe, and then white people had found her and treated her well, and then she got back to her people. And she was an old woman living in the thing, and she said, "No, white people treat them decently." And it just, the human values that were going on in that whole Lewis and Clark journey is really fascinating, because the majority of the Native American tribes treated them really well. There were the Dakota Sioux were really kind of like pirates, and so they were really bad. And I think the Blackfoot Indians were bad, but most of the others were really welcoming and honorable.
They had the human code.
Yeah, it's the human code, and that's why I think we're all so bloody similar.
Exactly.
Or that's why I want to do these gigs all around the world, because I have this strong feeling that we're all so bloody similar. Anyway, I'm going to take one more question. Sorry.
I was just going to say, were you a fan of Bill Hicks?
Yes, I was, and I particularly when Bill started taking he had a real great attack. He had a great laconic style. He isn't quite my style, so I was more for Python and more overt surrealist. But when he started doing more and more, attacking bigger and bigger targets, then it really fit really well. So I remember him doing this piece of material about George Michael. He said, "Oh, what a big girl, what a big girl." I thought, well, that's not a good enough attack for you. And then he started using more about, why don't we use this thing they're showing about in the First Gulf War, they're getting a nuclear weapon. It goes all the way into a letterbox of a thing. He said, why can't we use this to shoot food into people's mouths in the third world? And I thought that was a great use of this thing. So he shouldn't have left the planet at the time he did. So I'm going to take one more question. You just want to do this to me?
It's not great.
Thank you. That's just how it works. Yes, your question.
All right, first of all, thanks for coming to Austin. You were looking up Jam. Do you ever look up yourself or YouTube yourself?
Every day. No, I have. Sorry? Didn't hear that one. But yeah, no, I have. There's a Wikipedia site. It's got a banner on at the moment saying, we need more proof, I think. We need more proof that this shit goes on. So, but yeah, it's pretty accurate, the Wikipedia site. I've never changed anything on it. But,
You do on stock with the people.
sorry?
You do on stock with the people.
But it's yeah, no. So I just like the fact that it's there, and it's so weird how it came about. And I would have thought, if they put adverts on it, they could make a ton of money. But but I don't know. It's become what it is, and it's great. Anyway, thank you guys.